So this is in response to loser Laowai's is globalization good for black people or Africans? And you brought up a lot of good points. And yeah, some of them you brought up a lot of good points and it's true, and like I mentioned an incident that happened. Well, you mentioned how Chinese people they tend to look down on anything that's provided by, like, black or African people living in China, and it has an effect over here in the U.S. where I'm at. You can see some of those similarities, and which I witnessed it twice, and yeah, they seem to look down on anything that's black people or African people provide to them. They think that the white man, anything that's provided by the white man, it's of a better quality, or it's just automatically good because of that stigma of white being right. And just looking up to them and seeing how they operate, you know, they tend to decide with them. Everything that's by white people, they agree with. Not all of them, but they tend to have a good view of anything white. And with black people, like with the media and stuff, that plays an effect, that plays in a role on how we're seen. Whether it's black people in America, how things are operated here, or with Africans, or how poor some of those countries are. And the thing is that blacks or African, we're not controlling our image. We're not projecting our image. It's really the white man who's projecting it. So you brought up a good point about that, and I want to talk about, like, this incident in a Jamaican restaurant, particularly. Um, I get off work at late at night sometimes, and there aren't that many, like, restaurants open. A lot of them are closing like around 12 o'clock or 1:30 in the morning. So this one particular day, I happened to get off late, and I decided, you know what? I had the option of going to a 24-hour supermarket to get some food and cooking some food, but I was so tired, and I didn't want to cook anything. I just wanted to get some food and eat right away. So there's this one Jamaican place that I sometimes go by to get some food if I don't feel like cooking. So I went to this particular place called Flames on the East Coast. If any of you guys familiar with that who live on the East Coast in the New England area, there's a restaurant called Flames. They are alright, but I don't really like them that much. But it's all right. It can get you through the day. Well, not through the day, but it can settle you down for a little while. But the food to me it's not really that good, but it's all right. So this one particular night, I drove by the Flames, and I happened to go there, and usually there's some people there trying to get some food late at night. So at around 12:30, 12 o'clock, 12:30, they're closing up. So they're trying to get all the food out, or they're just throwing everything away. So I go up in there, I see three people up in there. I happened to see this Chinese girl and this one brother. It looked like they were. They looked like they were together. I don't know. Judging from their appearance, they looked like they were friends. I don't think they were really with each other like that. But I saw those two, and I saw some other guy. He was ordering food from somebody else, but there were two people behind the counter that were taking orders. And one of the guy, the main guy that takes orders, he's kind of charismatic person, a little Jamaican guy. You can hardly understand what he says sometimes, but he's all right. He can be brash, but he's a pretty cool guy. But so I'm getting in line to order some food, and all of a sudden I just happen to hear this conversation that's going on between the guy behind the counter and the Chinese girl and the black kid that were standing there. They looked like they were looking at the food, because when you go in there, the food is on display, so people can look at the food and inspect it before they order it. So it's on display. So I just happened to listen to the conversation, and it seemed like the Chinese girl, the way she was looking at the food and the way she was talking about, what is this right here? The Jamaican guy behind the counter was just monitoring her whole body movement, her whole expression, and it was kind of ticking him off that she was, making these little shots at the food. And she was like, from what I heard, she was like, oh, she was talking to her friend who was black, like, oh, what is this? And he's telling her, oh, that's jerk chicken, oh, that's salmon, that was curry chicken, etc. That was stew oxtail, that nasty shit. Stew beef, stew chicken and stuff. And the way she was making her facial expressions when he was telling her that, the Jamaican guy behind the counter, he didn't like that. So he just straight up just said, you know what? He was speaking in patois, a little bit in patois. It was funny though, but he said, this is Jamaican food, If you want Chinese food, this is not Chinese food. If you want Chinese food, go somewhere else. This is Jamaican food. You think you're too good for Jamaican food. And the girl was just looking at him like, okay. And like, I'm serious, man. I'm serious. If you don't like this food, the way you're looking at this food is not good. You look down on our food. You look down on our food. Why don't you go get Chinese food? This food is not for you. And the girl was like, no, I'm not looking down on the food or anything, but I just want to know, I've never really had Jamaican food. And he's like, if you're going to stand here and look at the food all crazy and stuff, like you never seen chicken or anything like that, then if you don't like it, then go somewhere else. We don't need your money. And the brother, the brother she was with, he was just looking and like just smiling, looking at in amazement, like, wow, this shit's really going on. So, in judging from the way they were talking, I don't think they were from the East Coast. I think they were from, I don't know, the West Coast, or because I noticed that the girl, no, not the girl, the dude she was with, he said something about the food. He referred to it like, "Oh, this chicken over here looks hella good." So I'm thinking like, they must be from the West Coast. And the Chinese girl, she might be Chinese American. I don't know, first generation probably. But it looked like, from what it looked like, they weren't really from around here on the East Coast. Because over there they say hella. This is hella good, or this is hella fine. And over here on the East Coast, we say mad. This is mad stupid and shit, man. This is mad good. You know, and so after that, the Jamaican guy behind the counter, he blew up, man. He said, "You know what? Don't order anything. Just go." And they just got up and they just straight left. They didn't order anything. And he just went off. I mean, after they left, it's like, these people then, some of them, they come in here, they look at the food, they look down on our food, man. Their food, Chinese food, that shit is nasty. I never eat Chinese food. I only eat Chinese food when I was younger. After that, when I decided to open up my own business, man, or cook my own food, because the food is nasty, man. I mean, obviously he was talking to he was going off, and it was funny. This happened a while ago, last year. So some of it, sorry if some of it is not coming out right, but yeah, just from what I remember. But yeah, I mean, I'm not doing this to pick on all Chinese people or stuff like that. I'm just pointing some of this shit out, man. I mean, in a recent post, I said that some of these people are ignorant as hell. And from what I witnessed on my job and from interaction with them, it's kind of true, man. It is true to an extent. But that's not me trying to bash them or anything. Like I said, I've met some really cool Chinese people on my job, who come over to study and stuff. And they just wanna, and some of them, like, they tell me straight up, "Oh, I don't want to go back to China, man. I wanna stay here because it's a little bit more freedom." And these are Chinese people from the mainland. And yeah, this is the stuff they tell me. I also met Chinese people from Taiwan, and they cool. Some of them cool as hell. But yeah, the other incident that happened 2 years ago, but I can't really remember it. But yeah, that's just a small little incident that happened last year that I remember, since you made this video on globalization. Is it good for Black or African people? And yeah, I mean, yeah, to an extent, you brought up some good points, and yeah, it was a good video. I liked the video. Yeah, so that's pretty much what happened with this incident. So yeah, see you guys later.